And welcome to another episode of Liz on Biz. Here with me today is Linda Hunt from Some Solutions. Welcome to the show, Linda.
Thanks, Liz. I love your energy.
Oh, thank you.
You're very high energy. I love
I
that.
bring it. I really bring it. And I have a background in theater, which may not be surprising, but when I do like the intros, I actually use I do good breath work because it's a big like I do all that and
Uh-huh.
my friends impersonate me. They're like, "Oh, here I am, Liz Biz." Like they like make fun of my friend Ashley. She and I used to, she owns a business too. She's really cool. And we've been friends forever, but we used to sometimes co-work in the same office and I would do podcast recordings and she'd be in the room working. And then one time I was like making fun of her, like on a consult, and I was like, "Hi, this is Ashley." And then she was like, "Oh, this up." But we tease each other. We're grown-ups, of course.
Yeah, we're grown-ups.
We're still teasing each
Are we
other. Are
are
we
we
though?
grown-ups?
I'm a child at heart,
I was
right?
gonna say, I think we're grown-ups, children in grown-up bodies.
It's true. It's true though. But no, I love your energy too. You're so easy to talk to,
Oh,
which is I'm
thank you.
sure something your clients likely say to you.
Which, yeah, and surprising. I mean, my background, I'm an accountant, right?
Yeah.
Although I've been told I can't be an accountant because I have a personality. And
You're
I
not allowed to
say
have both at the same
Right.
time.
And I say that with love because I love numbers and everything. So accountants out there, I get you.
Yeah. Yeah, you
Yeah.
get them. Well, and it is because I think well, us as business owners have that whatever narrative or myth about accountants. Like, oh, all accountants must be,
Yes.
people with that wear glasses, not that there's anything wrong with that. And like it was like, "Oh, I love numbers, but like that's not necessary. You might love numbers, but you might also love to watch Friends.
Exactly. Absolutely love to watch Friends. So
So tell us all. So you're an accountant, but tell us more
yeah.
about Some Solutions.
Yeah. So some solutions started out in the late 90s, early 2000s as a remote accounting and bookkeeping services businesses. So I was one of the very first out there before like remote was even a thing. Like the internet did not support
No, it
remote
wasn't
at
ready for
all.
you.
Oh my God, it wasn't ready for me. Like we used to have a courier like come pick up the package, we would do all the, check writing and all that stuff, and they would come pick up the packages and they would deliver it to the client. So we were local at that point. And I just started out offering accounting and bookkeeping services, but I made every mistake in the book possible, right? I didn't start with a clean relationship to money. And I lived the exact, patterns that I see now with businesses. So over the years, I kind of, grew and morphed. And as I recognized I was underpricing, over delivering, over explaining my services, I was taking rejection personally, right? Working
Mm.
constantly. And I wasn't creating the financial stability I expected. As I started to figure that out, I noticed other bookkeepers were doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I started teaching them what I called the business behind bookkeeping. So I offered the bookkeeper's business blueprint. And really that is, so my company's kind of morphed. Actually don't even do that specifically anymore, but I
Mm-hmm.
do work with service provider businesses in two key areas. One of them is pricing, right? So we talk all about that relationship, um, pricing, over delivering, self-worth, how to talk about your pricing, right? Because pricing breaks in three areas. It breaks in the conversation, right? So when you're having to state your rate,
Yeah.
my voice used to wobble. It also breaks inside the work where we're over delivering, scope
Mm-hmm.
creep. And then it breaks in the structure. Oftentimes service providers, I'm going to say this and some people will be like, that's not true, but 80% of what we do is repeatable. The difference is the client that you're working with. So if your delivery is not consistent, right?
Mm.
So all of those three things together, if you don't have a handle on those, your pricing, no matter what you're saying your rate is, there's money leaks and it's not fully supporting your business, right? So
Even
that's
lacks of efficiencies, it sounds like.
Yes,
That's a
Absolutely.
huge
Huge.
shrink is what so I used to work as a cashier many, 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 many years ago. I was like 16 and they made us watch a video and it was like, this is called shrink. And shrink is like if you forget to scan an item or
Yeah.
like if somebody buys a thing of bananas but you only weighed one banana and then they got extra bananas for free by accident. And so it's called
Right.
shrinks when we do these inefficiencies or mistakes or errors
Right.
that lose the company money.
That lose the company because pretty much everything, even though we don't think about it, is it's related to money. And if your pricing
Hmm.
isn't structured properly, you're going to be underpaying, you're undervaluing your business. Okay. So that's,
I'm guilty of over delivering when you
oh, I'm,
said that.
yeah,
And I have to, and my team is because we love our clients, right? So like when you think, oh, I love my clients, so I will XYZ, but that's not really love. Because it's an
no,
uneven energetic exchange if money is
yes,
energy.
correct. You hit the
Yes.
nail on the head. It has to be an energetic. So what I'm going to say to you, Liz, is what you need to do is if you know you're going to over deliver and you consistently over deliver certain things, include that in your package.
Ding, ding, ding.
Including your package. So
Hmm.
that's one side of my business. And then, but the two sides are related. The other side of our business is what I call financial architecture, right? So it's really about being clear about what support you need on, let's call it the accounting side, right? So some businesses, when they first start out, they think, oh, I'll get this program and it's going to solve my problem. And then they're investing in all these tools and it's not helping them, right? And actually those tools they might not be ready for those tools. They might not need that complexity. I'm all about the right financial architecture for your stage of business. And I work with businesses from startups all the way up to highly complex businesses that have all these systems where the data doesn't match up, right? And what we do is I kind of look at it and I say, okay, this is what you need for your business. And I call it, there's accounting, right?
Yep.
Which is the history, it's the reporting. It shows you the patterns. It shows you what's happening. And then there's the financial operations, which you so lovely described when you were talking about being a cashier, like the
Yeah.
shrink. That's financial operations. And the two have to align and be clear. And so that's kind of where I work with clients on that as well. Well, my company and I work with clients on that as well.
And it's sometimes it's hard to know where your holes are because you
Yes.
are the one doing the work.
Yes.
And if you don't know, and if you don't stop or get a partner like you, Linda, right?
Yeah.
Like, how could you see? You can't see the holes if you're wearing the shirt. It's like if you wear a shirt and it has a hole in it, your mom's gonna tell you, or your best friend. They're gonna say, "What are you doing wearing a shirt with a hole in it?" You
I'm like,
know,
oh, I didn't see that. And then what do you
I'm
say? Oh, I didn't see that.
I didn't see that, or I
Right.
didn't know. Like I'm
Right.
wearing jeans with holes, and I think about my dad every time I wear jeans with holes. But they have a hole in the knee, and he's always like, "Oh, your jeans have holes in them." And I'm like, "I just hate you, shut up." But I love my dad. But like, I'm like,
I
oh.
know. I
Every
know.
time I wear these pants, I picture him annoying because he's such a dad. But no, I think like you can't see the holes on the shirt that you're wearing, but
Right.
similarly, you can't see the holes in your business that you're
Right.
running.
Right. And sometimes, yeah. So how you can identify the patterns, right, is it could be showing up as exhaustion. It could be showing up
Ooh.
as basically your calendar's full, but your bank account's not reflecting how busy you are. Ding,
Yeah.
ding, ding, right?
Yeah.
Um, I'm trying to think of, let me see. Let's see.
That's a big ding ding ding. Is if
Huge.
you're because if you're like, I'm so tired, I should have $100,000 in there, or like whatever the sentence is in your head.
Right.
And if
Right.
that doesn't make any sense, or if you have like 20,000 less than you thought, or I don't know what people's rules are for
Right.
determining how am I doing, but it's like if something's off, like if you're not earning comfortably and you're tired,
That's
that's
a
wrong.
huge that is a huge pattern, and you got to kind of step back and look at it. And typically what ends up happening, Liz, is that so that's why I call pricing breaks, right? So we go back to what I said a few minutes ago. It breaks in the conversation, inside the work, or in the
Yep.
structure. So if you don't have the bank account that you think you should, it's most likely going to be a combination of inside the work, over
Hmm.
delivering, um, adding value, adding things that the client didn't ask for, right? And
Yeah.
also inside the structure, not consistently delivering your services the same way and kind of
Yeah.
adjusting on the fly, right? So you're always, so what's happening is not only are you expending a lot of energy physically, you're expending a lot of mental energy, a lot
Well,
of,
yeah, even quoting, I mean, like what you're describing on delivery can also be like applied to
oh,
the process of quoting because I
absolutely.
have flats. So, like, and people wonder why I have these. Like, I have different flat numbers that I always quote based on the project on the phone. I quote on the phone before I write it down
Okay.
because then it can increase the likelihood that that person can make a decision more quickly. And I usually have a very good, sharp sense, but it's because I've come up with predetermined flat rates that
Love that.
scale. Yeah, so it's like small projects are XYZ, medium projects are this, large projects are this, websites are this, brands are
Yeah.
this. Like I have rules. And
That's
then
fabulous.
that
Fabulous.
way you know, because I think a lot of people lose, you're gonna lose the goose. Do you know what I mean? If you don't know, like
Yes.
you should know your numbers, like you're saying,
Yes.
obviously,
You
but you
should know
should
your numbers.
also know your sales strategy should be that easy.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It should be repeatable. Like
Yes, repeatable. That's the
that's
word.
exactly how when we do accounting services, right? I'll have somebody go, "Well, I only have, $6 million in revenue." And I'll be like, "Okay." And then I'll start to go through things with them. I'm like, "Yes, you have $6 million in revenue, but there's no automation."
Yeah.
So, or there, it's very complicated, whatever it is. And so you can't judge, right? And
No.
it's like you're the expert. So that's the other thing I want people to hear is you're the expert in your field.
Yes.
You know how, and you know how you deliver your services. And the thing I want people to hear me say this: price your services to consistently deliver the quality you want to deliver. Do not skimp your price
Yes.
to get the client because it will become a relationship that is very heavy for you, right? And if you're doing that, that's another sign, Liz. If you've got a lot of high touch clients, you're not pricing correctly
Mm-hmm.
because you're carrying your business instead of allowing the structure or the system to carry your business. So what you highlighted to me, how you have these flats,
Yeah.
that's a system. That's a structure. And
Yes.
you're letting that structure support you.
Yes. It's so much healthier. And the only time I deviate from the flats in my head is if the project is beyond my understanding at the moment. So
I get it.
just to give you an example, and I don't think these people are going to hire me, so I'll tell you about it. They like didn't they said something and then I made a joke and then they didn't like it. But it's because it's my personality. But basically, they had a project and they are migrating from it's called one CMS to another. So a CMS being like WordPress. So they're
Okay.
going from something that's a really old one that doesn't really exist anymore to WordPress. But they want us to come in as like an adjunct firm because the other firm that they're working with doesn't want to do all the work. Is really what it is. The other firm said, we're only going to do this part of the work and you have to subcontract the rest to us, right? Or contract the rest to us. So I had to quote, it's like moving like, it's really big. It's like moving like maybe thousands and thousands of pages and posts and redesigning them and developing them
Okay.
in a new framework that doesn't yet exist that I would have to make. So it's like this was a big project. So I didn't send the quote right away because we were like I talked to them on a Thursday. This is just to give you an idea of how annoying they were. And that's why I don't think they're going to hire me. I talked to them on a Thursday. They didn't get the quote on the on or yeah, they didn't get the quote Thursday or Friday because we were closed because we had a big celebration because I celebrated 15 years. So we closed on the Friday.
Nice.
And I had my team fly in. It was very fun. And then we didn't reopen till the Tuesday. So really, it's only been 2 business days. And I hadn't yet submitted the quote. And it was a very hard quote. It wasn't like a website where
Sure.
I could just tell you what it's going to be. So anyway, I have an automation that goes out whenever people schedule a call or come into my ecosystem. And it's like a welcome to Liz Theresa. Liz is so great. Look at Liz doing all these nice things. Isn't she nice? Isn't she great? But it says information. There's information in these, but it's like a nurturing
Yes.
welcome thing. So she sends me an email on the Tuesday and is like, funny how you email me every day with these marketing messages and I don't receive a quote from you. And I said, hi, we'll just call her Lisa. It wasn't her name. Hi, Lisa. I said, this is by far the least flattering thing I've heard today. And I go, I'll have your quote later. And so I send her the quote, nothing.
Of
We're never
course.
going to hear from her again. But like, I
Yeah.
go, did you? Oh, no. And I also said, did you know you could just like unsubscribe? I'm almost like you said the quiet part out loud. If you don't like someone, leave. Leave.
Well, the other
You
thing that
know?
I'm kind of picking up here is
Please,
that,
please.
yeah, what I'm picking up here is they probably thought they were going to be the biggest job you've ever had.
Oh,
That's what I'm kind of, yeah, I'm kind
that's
of pick,
cute.
yeah. And here's the thing.
Yeah.
What I want, I hope everyone takes away from this is
Yeah.
every client, we're not meant for every client, and it's
Bingo.
okay. And actually, I have a feeling that if you took that client, you would not have been supporting your team, right? Because that client to me sounds like they're not aligned with the values of your
Oh
company.
no, they're gonna be a massive pain in the bum. And I would
Yeah,
have had to, I charged, I mean, the quote was high, but it's because I would have to charge a team to just work on them. Like I would have to
sure,
hire people
sure.
just to
Right.
handle them.
Oh, right. And
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I have we're working with a consulting client right now, and the consulting client says, "Oh, we're going to go into recurring services with you." And I'm like, "Okay." And they're firing their like and we work with in-house teams, right? But they have
Yeah.
an in-house person, they're going to be firing that person. It's imminent. They still haven't signed the paperwork. I've been talking to them for about 5 weeks about this. And I'm like, finally, I'm done. I'm
Yeah, you
done.
gotta
It's
walk
like,
away if they're not gonna jump.
well, right. We're
Yeah.
finishing up the consulting part, and I'm like, and I'm getting copied in on emails that have to do with recurring work. And I'm like, I'm not responding because
Yeah, they don't involve you yet.
yeah, it's like you're emailing me, but and the thing is, only
Yeah.
we can hold our boundaries. Because if I decided, think about
Yes.
this, if I started answering those emails, that is scope creep. That is me allowing it, which then means I am diluting the fee that I charge them.
By
So
a
that is
lot.
by a lot. And that's what I mean by inside the work, your pricing breaks. It's only you can hold your boundaries. And it's
Yes.
not about being rigid, right? I had another so same client, right? Their
Mm-hmm.
bookkeeper did not know how to record something. She reached out to me. I happily helped with that. It took me less than 15 minutes to kind of walk her through what she needed to do. That is not a scope creep. That is just being,
A nice person and yeah.
yeah, cordial and nice, because everything um doesn't require you to say no.
Mm-hmm.
However, if you're doing something consistently, right? Like let's just say, I don't know, maybe you do in a brand kit, you always do a
Yeah,
social
yeah.
media banner, right? You just throw it in. Just charge for it from the beginning, right?
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
do
yeah.
that from the beginning. It's like, don't, because it's easy for us doesn't mean it doesn't have value, right? And
That's what
we,
I did. I added my price because I used to give people social media banners and I was like, that should just be part of the package because I give it away every time. And
yeah,
then I dramatically increased the price for branding because my branding prices were too low because I
okay,
realized I was like, I was over delivering and
yeah,
undervaluing how much work it was to do all
yeah.
that.
Yeah. So I have a question for you. What was
Yeah.
the trigger that made you realize that?
I looked at all the different things we sent the person. I looked at the number attached and I said, why is that so low?
I love it. I
It was
love it.
it was just a logical like that doesn't make any sense. And then I also was like when because whenever I quote sites, interestingly, we always roll branding in, and sites are a lot more expensive anyway. But even if sites are more expensive than a logo, which they should be, they're more work. Then I can also look at the website package and say, oh, the value of the logo is $2,000, right? Just to give you an example. Like the branding package is 1997 in case anybody wants to buy one today. Da, 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 da. But then, like, if you look at the price of the website package, you could actually say, okay, of my flagship program, like let's say you do the best one,
Yeah.
54.97 right now, and you take 19.97 out of it, that still leaves like $3,500 ish for or
Or a
three
website.
three yeah, for a website. And the website used to cost that without the, and so actually all of my math still mathed. And like, when you talked about like pricing and you said something like, and this is such a great visceral observation, when you talked about how your voice wobbles a little when you talk. And I'm like, it should at least wobble slightly when you say you're pricing, because I always want people to price to the point that you're always a little uncomfortable with it.
Yes. Yes, but at the
A
same
little.
time though, you
But
don't
yes.
want when you're stating your rate, you
Yes.
want people to know that you're confident and they'll be in
Yes.
good hands,
And you
right?
can't laugh.
And you shouldn't. You shouldn't laugh.
You
But
shouldn't
but
giggle.
but you don't, because I'll tell you, when
Yeah.
I said my rate and I was like really nervous about it, right? And my
Yeah.
voice shook, that is when people would jump in and they would try to negotiate with
Or clam up or say, I gotta talk to my husband and all that annoying stuff that
all that
people
kind
do.
of stuff. Right. And exactly. And what we have to realize is people are coming to those conversations with their own money story, right? We have our money
That's
beliefs
true.
and our money story, and they're coming with theirs.
Yeah.
And just because so what your prospect really wants is to know that you've done this before and they're in good hands. They are buying the outcome. They are not buying your
Hmm.
hours, right? So they're coming to you, Liz, and they're like, I want this amazing website. And your personality, right? Your bubbly personality make like I'm like, I'm gonna get a great website from, or I'm gonna
Oh
get a
yeah,
great
they're
right.
really good.
I'm sure they're fantastic
I
at
love them so much. I have a shirt that says it because we do print and promo now too. So I made a shirt and it says I love websites. I wear it
I
because I
love it.
do.
I love it.
But you're
um,
right. It's the solution.
it's a solution, and folks are buying the transformation. So
Mm.
really, where your confidence, right, to have a confident money conversation with prospects is you have to believe in the transformation that you are going to provide for your client.
Yeah.
Result. The transformation or the result, those are interchangeable, right? Because some people have results and some
Hmm.
people are transforming their clients. So it just
This
depends.
is so interesting when you think about the companies and the business owners where they say that they act so hungry, like they're not getting work. And I'm like, I wonder, I mean, it doesn't mean it is every time, but it could be a confidence issue. If you don't fully believe
Yeah.
in your result, well, then would you buy it? You know?
Exactly. And if you can't explain it
Hmm.
clearly, that's where you need to work, right? Because that's where
Yeah.
your money conversation, that once you have that down, like I call myself a financial architect. And people will go, well, what do you mean? Or
Yeah.
I'll say I'm a money clarity catalyst because I create the ground or like the fertile what's
Hmm.
the
The
garden,
foundation stuff.
the foundation stuff for you to realize what, like, you already know, like the answer's inherent in you. I'm just going to
Yeah,
create
yeah.
the circumstances that you're going to figure it out. And yes, I'm going to give you tools and structure along the way, but we inherently we know the stuff, right?
Hmm.
Well, when I say financial architect, that kind of creates a visual in your brain.
Yes.
I'm not saying I do. Yes, one of the things we do is accounting and bookkeeping. Absolutely. But financial architect, I'm helping you make decisions. I'm helping you use your numbers in a way that will give you clarity and make decisions differently for your business.
Yes.
So,
And also laying the groundwork. I think a great side effect of your work is knowing our value because you're
yes,
able to see us. Like
yes,
if we're like, "Oh, I'm good at my job." You'd be like, "No, you're the best at it." And here's all of the reasons why you are the
yes,
best at your unique thing that you do
yeah,
because you can see us and we can't
yes.
see us.
So I love tea. Absolutely love tea. There's a tea house not that far from my home. And I've gotten to know the owner pretty well. And, and tea houses are cropping up all over the place. So, she called me or sent me an email, I think. And she's like, they're charging $48. So she charges $54 for an afternoon tea sitting. And it's a lovely, I mean,
Oh
the
yeah. I've been to
experience.
one, but it's like not that close, but I loved it.
Yeah, the experience is amazing. And then and I looked up the one that was charging $48, and immediately I said to her, she goes like, I think I should change my price. I'm like, well, first of all, no. And
No.
here's why. And I contrasted the differences for her. I'm like, they have a limited menu. They have a 2 hour, an hour and a half
Yeah.
seating limit. Um, they had a couple of other things. And I says, but you offer flexibility, different menus. The difference was so there were so many differences. And when I pointed it out to her, because it's her own business, she's like,
Yeah.
thank you. She goes, I now see the value I offer differently
Yeah.
because we contrasted. So yes, it's good to always know what other people are charging,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
that does not define you and how you deliver your service and or your product.
It's true.
Because I met a jewelry designer the other day, and they're gorgeous stuff. And then, but it's just the way she really worked with the people and said, well, these earrings work. Like I got these actually.
Oh, gorgeous.
Thank you.
Love.
And she
Yeah.
really helps you figure out the right look for you or whatever.
Oh, see,
But
that's already a massive value, by the way, because otherwise I'm going, what? I just walking into, I almost said Claire's, but I'm a little old for that. So maybe I'm walking into Macy's or something. I'm not going to Claire's anymore. And you know what I mean? You just buy some earrings. They don't think about that.
no, but the way she and then the way she packaged it, and then
Hmm.
it was follow. There was a little follow-up email and says, I hope you're loving your earrings. And I was just like, wow, because she designed them. They're part of her, right? So
Oh, I
she
love
took this
that.
very different approach. And I loved it. I absolutely just it's all about the human touch. You know how we're also worried about
Yes.
AI? Well, in the accounting industry, we've been dealing with it for years. We've been told for years we don't need, uh,
You have been told that.
we've been told.
I've
And
heard people tell the
and
accounting
guess
people
what?
that.
And
We're
there's
still
still
here.
we're still here. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
still here. And the thing is, AI cannot replace a soul. It
No,
cannot
that's true.
replace humans.
It
It can
can't.
replace certain things humans do, which
Yes.
is why I'm so passionate about like the businesses I work with. I want them to really focus their processes in communication and in delivering that consistent quality because
Yeah.
that's the experience. And that was the experience of the tea house. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is why you're booked every, the 4 days you're open. This is why you don't have an opening.
It's because it's so great. Yeah, I'm so surprised. It's so funny when I heard that story. I was like, why would she be worried? Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Because I'm
Yeah.
like, when I'm shopping for a tea house, if I were gonna, I would look, okay, which one is the pinkest? And then, but that's because I'm going for how cute it is. So then I'm like, which one is the pinkest? Which one is like
Yeah.
within 30 or 40 minutes away and not like an hour? Because I don't know where my nearest one even would be. Like
Yeah.
we have a tea room. They have a funny tea room like near us, and it's all psychics though. So it's a
Oh,
psychic tea room,
I
and so
love
you
that.
have tea, and then they read your leaves, and like
Oh, really? Oh, like a Russian tea house. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
kind of cool. And then there's like a more traditional tea room on the
Yeah.
North Shore that I went to that I loved. It was so
Okay.
beautiful.
Yeah.
But like it's funny what she would worry about and I was like on another planet. Do you know what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
never know what your
You don't.
customers really like, what they value
Right. That's
about
exactly.
you.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
and that is also a great exercise. That's a great point because ask your favorite clients.
Yeah.
What is it I do for you? What is it, what value am I bringing to the table? And just say, you could say, I'm trying to refresh my marketing message or whatever.
Yeah.
Give them whatever reason you want, but listen to what they're saying because they're going to tell you something that you didn't realize you were doing for
Yes.
them. And that's,
Somebody did that for me. Like, so I made her, we did a website and a brand, and I set up her, like, I did all her stuff. Like, I set up her booking system and all of her email stuff. And then she said something like, you're not just a web designer. And I go, thank you. And she's like, no, like, listen, she's like, you heal people's marketing. She's like, because she's like, the way
wow.
that you see people
Yeah.
and like can carry their voice, like, because I do copy. So she's like, the fact that like you can meet me, understand me that much, that you can speak what I've been trying to say. She said,
Yeah.
that's not normal.
That's not normal.
And she's like, and that's why she was like, like, you heal people around their marketing. And I was like, invisibility.
I
So it's
love that.
something I've started to say
I
more.
love, well, yes, I have noticed
Yeah.
that. I have noticed that about you.
Mm,
Yes.
thank you.
But it's visible.
Interesting.
It's visibility. And I think that's the common
Hmm.
thread. Like I'm in
Yeah.
the finance field, you're in the marketing field, but it is
Mm,
about helping folks feel seen, right?
mm.
And helping them articulate because we're not, people aren't, people have a lot of shame. There's a lot of emotion, right? Especially for business owners when they think they should know something
Yes.
or be an expert in it, right? Well, when we have a job, we're only just doing our job and there's structure all around us.
Hmm.
When you become an entrepreneur, you're wearing all those hats. You're doing it all.
You got to build that structure.
You've got to build that structure. And the thing is,
Yeah.
you're not meant to be an expert marketer. You're not
No.
meant to be an expert numbers person. What you need to do is know enough to ask the right questions. That is the job of the entrepreneur, and then build your scaffolding. And yes,
Hmm.
I understand when a business is new, it is not easy to, build everything out, right? And have that support team. But if you identify what's like, if
Yeah.
you're, but if your bookkeeping or if you're creating your website is the drag for you and it's taking you 20 hours, right? Hire it out and
Yes.
make that investment so that you can shine.
Move forward. And like move forward because in bookkeeping and money was the first thing I hired for. Like I had assistants, but like the first consistent all the time
Yeah,
was bookkeeping because I was like, this is the thing. I only know enough to make sure I'm doing it right for taxes. But this
sure.
is the thing that I know I can do, but I don't, it's not my area. It's not my zone of genius. It's not where I'm most excited or anything. And it's
Right.
also really hard for me to switch to switch brains to
Yeah.
go from like, I'm designing your brand to like, where's the receipt for Amazon? Like, and I'm just like, I can't like, it's really hard to
I
swing the
I
pendulum.
understand because they're two, one's
Yeah.
fluid and one is structured, right?
Yeah.
One's fluid, one's structured, but I bet you probably, I'll be surprised if you say no. I
Yeah.
bet you now look at your numbers and you see the patterns
Yes, I know so much more now about my
because,
numbers because I've had bookkeepers
yeah,
helping me and people that tell me, well, your payroll's usually X, and if your payroll's usually X and your income's usually Y, you do really well. Like, you know what I mean? Like in my and I we are we're generally profitable. The only time I had a chicken little moment this year was Q1 because I thought I was poor. And I said, am I chicken little or is it fine? And she said, you're chicken little. And I said, oh, and then she explained why.
that's
Because
fantastic.
I
I
was
love
like,
it.
explain to me. Yeah, because it's only because Q1's so expensive. So like it just feels like, and then I went to Disney. And then like last year I paid off my mom's car and I like did a lot of big things. Like paid off my debt, my student loan debt last year, paid off my
Yeah,
mom's car. It was like huge life
sure.
goal things. And then this year I was like, well, I have to be destitute because I've done all these giant things. And she's like, no, actually you're still profitable. And I was
There you
like,
go. Love it.
shocked, thrilled, not very profitable because I did a giant expenditures, but I still had a profit. And
There
I was
you go.
like, that's amazing.
That's
So
fantastic.
Linda, it's actually time
Yes.
for your last question, but I could
Oh,
talk to you for a million hours in a day because you're just a delight and brilliant and awesome. I want to ask specifically about your book because
okay.
I'm writing a book also right now.
Ooh,
But I want to know I want to know so much about your book and I have one question. So just do your best to tell me how was writing that? Was that hard? And then tell everybody a little
yeah.
bit about it.
So, The Money Conversation is the name of the book, and it was in my head, Liz, for 15 years. And when
Whew.
I actually sat down to write it, it came out in 2 weeks. So, the first draft was done in 2 weeks, pretty much. It's not a long book, it's about 106 pages. It's the no nonsense approach, right, to understanding pricing and stuff like that. But yeah, it was in my head for 15 years. So I had tried to sit down and write it for several years and with no avail. So 15 years and 2 weeks.
That's awesome because it
Yeah.
was all just ready to come out.
It was ready to come out, yes. And the book is really about helping you in the conversation, right? Because that's where I struggled the most. It is all about talking about your rate, how to raise your rates, negotiating. It has scripts, it has structure. I have been told it's the no nonsense approach to pricing. So I'll
I
take
love
it.
it.
I'll take it.
Yeah. So, well, Linda, tell everybody where they can find you online and find your book
Yeah.
online.
Okay. So if you're interested in the book, you can go to moneyconversation.net. You can get sign up and get a free chapter. And if you want to buy the book, please, I would love that. You also can find me at sumsolutions.com, SUMSOLUTIONS.com. We're on LinkedIn, Instagram, we're on it all. But if you go to the website, you'll find all the social media icons. So yeah.
Awesome. You guys, all the links will be in the show notes. Linda, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I loved our conversation.